Alright guys, today I'll be reviewing Orion at Kings Island. I just realized I've never reviewed this coaster, and it's definitely one of the most major coasters I haven't reviewed. I thought it was about time to share what I think about this ride in a full review, and I gotta say, this is definitely one of the more underrated B&Ms. And honestly, it's right up there with another ride that all of you praise as one of the greatest of all time, and I'll explain why in this review. So to start off, you've got this phenomenal presentation. It looks amazing from the road and everything, but once you actually get up to its plaza, it looks really nice. It has a great IMAscore soundtrack, and it's got some nice theming in the queue line. You know, it's not Universal or Dollywood, but you're still definitely going to be entertained while waiting in line here. When it comes to what seat you should sit in on this ride, I definitely think go on the unload side or the right side, but it's really tough between the front and the back. Obviously, the first drop's better in the back, but I do think the rest is slightly better in the front, which is why I would say go for the front, but you definitely should get a ton of rides on this and try both. Before you pull down the lap bars, you should take note of a couple things. One, these ops are pretty good. They're definitely not the fastest in the world, but all of Kings Island's ops are very good. And the second thing you gotta take note of is the screen showing where your lap bar is positioned. So if you're at verify or not, they definitely will not let you get minimum verify here, which is unfortunate, especially with the seatbelt, but it's still good to know when you're good to go, especially if you're a larger rider, then you can see if you're really gonna fit or not. And like I said, they're really convenient for the ops. So you're gonna actually pull down these lap bars and buckle that seatbelt. The seatbelt's really annoying, it's a retractable one. I'm definitely not a big fan of these. I get why they have them for insurance or whatever, but it still sucks for sure. But the clamshell lap bars themselves are some of the best in the game, easy to hold up. You do have to hold them up, but I mean, it's whatever, like a baby could hold these things up. So you're gonna start out of that station and head up the lift hill, which is pretty speedy. It's definitely not the fastest lift in the world, but for a chain lift especially, it's really fast. So then you're gonna head down that first drop, and this is a great one. It's definitely one of the best first drops out there. I do actually like this first drop more than Leviathan and Furies, just because I feel like it's got a bit more kick to it. You could definitely tell that it's a few degrees steeper than the others, and also I feel like you go over with a bit more speed, because especially on Fury, you slow down a bit at the top of the lift hill, which kind of sucks. Here you don't get that as much, I feel like. You're not hauling over the crest, but it's okay, because that first drop definitely yanks you a lot harder than some of the other Giga first drops. The only one that I think is stronger is Panthurian's, but it's not as sustained, so it's definitely between Orion and Panthurian for the best Giga drops in my opinion, and this thing lasts forever. When they say it's eternal, they mean it. So then you're going to bottom out of this first drop, and it's pretty good. You definitely feel the speed here. No real positives to be found on this ride except for one element, which I'll get to, but the speed on this ride is really nice. And you're going to keep that speed throughout this next element, which is the wave turn. You do get some nice floater on this. It feels like a good floater camelback, just sideways, so you get diagonal floater. It's not the strongest thing in the world, it's not aggressive, but it's nice and sustained. I'll also note this is definitely one of the two elements that's better on the unload side. So then you're going to hit a valley before heading up into what I call the reverse treble clef, because it really does look like it. You'll get a little airtime going into it in the front, especially on that load side. That's really the one element that's better on the load side. In the back, you don't really get anything. But then you'll head down this swooping turn to the right and not really get any positive Gs, but this is another element where you really feel that speed. This is absolutely a front row element, and the only element that's better on the load side. So then after that, you'll hit a speed hill. This is definitely the second best part of the ride in my opinion. In the front row at least. In the back, I do think the first drop's ever so slightly better, but they're close. This is a very strong speed hill. I honestly don't think it's as good as Mako's speed hill, but it's up there as one of the best speed hills B&M's done. It's very sustained, and it's powerful. It's flowjector. It's definitely one of the stronger B&M airtime moments you're going to get. So then after this, you hit probably the weakest moment of airtime on the ride overall, and that's the floater hill. It's trimmed, so you definitely don't get too good of airtime, and I really think it's too big for its own good. You just meekly float out of your seat. This definitely feels like a break in the action on this ride. It's very sustained, yes, but it's just too weak to really do anything for me. So after this, you're going to hit the only moment of positives on the ride, which is Orion's belt. This is a pretty good turnaround. It's sustained. It's not gray out worthy for me, but it's close. It's definitely one of the more intense maneuvers B&M's done, especially on a hyper model. It's sure as hell not Goliath's Helix or even Nitro's Helix, but it's still very solid and sustained. So then after this, you're going to hit what is the best part of the ride, especially in the front row on that unload side. It is this last wave turn before the final brakes. This is the reason Orion's as good as it is. The other moments are basic B&M Hyper Giga model elements. You know, the speed hill, the drop, they're all fantastic. But this is what makes Orion different from other B&Ms. This wave turn does not feel like a normal B&M element. It's definitely not RMC level ejector, but you do get ejector. And it's nice. It's a bit sustained too for a couple seconds. In the back and on the load side, it's not quite as good, but it's still very aggressive. Definitely one of the most aggressive moments of B&M airtime. So then after that, you'll have one last pop into the brakes, which in the front gives another good floater pop, and in the back a weaker floater pop before hitting the obnoxiously long brake run, which I know is a smart design decision from B&M, but it is really funny seeing how long these B&M brake runs are on their Gigas. So that is your ride on Orion. Now, I've heard a ton of people complaining about a rattle, not just on Orion, but all of Kings Island's coasters. Orion's definitely not the biggest one people have a problem with. That's usually Banshee or Diamondback. But I have heard mumblings about Orion's rattle, and I've never felt it. I've never felt a rattle on any of Kings Island's coasters. At least the steel ones, because yeah, obviously Beast is pretty rough, which makes it good. But anyways, yeah, I've never felt a rattle on any of Kings Island's coasters, and especially Orion. This thing feels butter smooth, like Fury 325 or Leviathan would. So if you're worried about that, then definitely don't be, because this ride is as smooth as it really gets for a B&M in my opinion. Now, I said at the start that this ride is right up there with one that people call one of the best in the world. And that is, of course, Fury 325. Is a lot of that the fact that I think Fury is the most overrated coaster in the world? Yeah, obviously. It's currently my number 31 overall, like it's not even close. But Orion is right behind it at spot 32 in my rankings. I absolutely love this ride. It's got some phenomenal airtime, and I'd say if it was a little longer, it would definitely be better than Fury. And I do think that individual elements are better than Fury's, but Fury's just got the length and it's got a bit more sense of speed to it. But I'm still going to give Orion a 9 out of 10 for its final score. It's a fantastic ride. In my opinion, it is objectively the best coaster at Kings Island. I know part of me still likes Beast better, but I've been debating whether I like Beast or Orion better, and I think it's Orion. Orion's just a really solid ride with some great airtime and above average elements for a B&M Hyper model. So let me know what you guys think of Orion at Kings Island. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.